What is up, YouTube world? I'm Ashley D. Before I get started, please go ahead, hit that like and subscribe button. Also, feel free to share this video as well. Everything I state is allegedly not a guaranteed fact, my own personal opinion and observation. So, I am going to be speaking on Jaguar Wright today. This video was requested from one of my old subs. I spoke on her a few times and things kind of spiraled out of control with her. And it was hard to kind of keep up with what was going on with her because it was all over the place, or it was over the top, or it was very erratic. And before I get into it with my own opinion, I'm just going to say there are so many people in this world that suffer from mental health.
I'm not sure I understand.
They either don't know they have it or they're afraid to come forward with it, because a lot of people are being judged based off of if you're bipolar, you're labeled as crazy. If you're schizophrenic, you might not know, but a lot of schizophrenic people suffer from borderline personalities. And I'm no doctor, I'm no psychiatrist. That's why I said everything I state is allegedly. This is my own personal opinion. I've paid attention to a lot of people and the things they do. And a lot of people suffer from these conditions and they don't want to come forward because they're embarrassed or they just don't know they have it. And to me, I feel as though even having depression or something like that, it can lead to you possibly spiraling out of control, and whatever type of mental health you suffer from that could have been possibly mild or light, it heightens it. It makes it more stronger, serious. It increases it because you're suffering from this traumatic experience, and now all these chemicals are activated inside of your brain. That's why a lot of people, when they become older, they suffer from so many different things that they didn't have throughout the years when they were younger. Dementia and things like that. And it seems like when an older person gets sick, then it kind of spirals out of the hill from there. I know a lot of older people, far as my friends, grandmas, mine, and so many more, that had one problem when they were sick and they fell. And then it spiraled into them having some type of seizure. Then they were admitted to the hospital, and then they had a week left to live. It's always been something serious like that. So I think in the mental health cases and in Jaguar's situation, these are similar things, because we see her behaving and acting one way. And then it seems like she has these manic episodes and she's doing these erratic things. And then people are saying, again, she's crazy. And then she's calm one minute, she's giving you information. She's very articulate. To me, a lot of people that suffer from borderline personality, in Jaguar's case, I would have to say they are very talented and smart people. You will look at them and on an intellectual level, they can talk to you. They're relatable. And they can give you information that you might not even knew about, and you'll say, wow, I didn't know that. And then a week later, they're completely someone different. We saw Jaguar become so many different people that it seemed like it wasn't her. It was either erratic behavior, over the top, or it was the down behavior where she was calm, cool, collective, and in control. And it also depends on the people you're around. When they say be careful of the company you keep, that is so true. When she was with her husband, her behavior was erratic, but it was more so medium mild. She would have those episodes, but he was more like that calm person for her. However, he wasn't that person to be able to grab her, take control, and guide her. So people like Jaguar that suffer from these conditions, they need someone to step up and give them boundaries, make sure they take their medicine, and make sure, most importantly, they're going to a therapist. Because a lot of times, even with these type of conditions, sometimes it runs in the family, it's genetic. And when a person goes through something that's so traumatic, it comes out. And if these people do not seek therapy, a lot of times as well, they suffer from those borderline personalities because they have to go to that different place inside their mind, that safe place. So it's like a department store. They compartment, put everything in a different order, different sections. So when you're traumatized from something, then you go to a different department. And then you hide out over there, and then something else happens. So you have all these different compartments inside your brain. So imagine how hard that is to try to control those different compartments. When normal people might have one or two, and that's the upper and the down one. That's the normal common sense one. And sometimes it's that bad side that doesn't necessarily always have logic to it. If those aren't balanced out, or if those people that suffer from borderline personalities have all those different compartments to try to manage, it becomes out of control. Then that behavior from medium to high to hot, it becomes erratic. And they don't know how to express themselves, especially without medication or being properly treated. Now, some of these behaviors are so bad to the point where these people are sociopaths. And they don't try to be. But with all these different borderline personalities and different traits, things that's going on nowadays, if it's not treated, it can become something worse than what it is. You can even take on another form of mental illness. And I've seen that in several people. And you can look things up. Even me strolling on Facebook, and like I said, I'm not a doctor, I'm not certified, and I'm not a psychiatrist. However, I researched these things before, so it's easy for me to depict and kind of point out when I see someone on Facebook. And just a prime example, they're in a relationship, and one day the relationship is all good. Then the next thing you know, they're on there talking about it, and they have a day where they're just venting, going on their person, putting their whole business out there on blast. The normal person would say, oh, they're just having a breakup. That's just them. That's what they normally do. However, I look at it like it's some underlying trauma that has not been treated. And it causes this person, when it's triggered, to react like that. Sometimes those childhood traumas that's not healed would become triggering to a possible mental illness that could be hereditary, or you have without being hereditary, that you might not know. And reuniting that with triggers, it's like setting a fire, putting the gasoline to it. It becomes worse, and it becomes more. And you're running around with anger and all these different emotions, and you don't know how to deal with it. And most importantly, you don't know you're supposed to seek help for it. That's why I say strongly that everyone who has dealt with trauma, childhood, from anything that has possibly traumatized you, it is important that you seek therapy for that. And if it's beyond a therapist, then they will probably recommend you a psychiatrist. And then a psychiatrist will be able to give you a test to evaluate if you possibly need medicine. Now, borderline personality, I've seen that with so many different people. And with the borderline personalities, these people sometimes tend to pick up different personalities and traits from people they be around. It could be a person they admire, and they're around this person that's a coworker. So they pick up that trait. Not to mention they pick up a trait from the other person that's around. Not to mention the other traits that they've accumulated over time. So they have their normal personality trait, and then they have that trait from that coworker. They have that neighbor that they admire, and then they have, say, a friend or something like that. All these different people. Borderline personality disorder is so hard to depict from, because you never know who that person is, and they don't know who they are. And sometimes with those type of different personalities, those people can be dangerous and reckless. Those people you don't want to tend to mess with, because when you expose them, then that's when it's definitely like lighting a fire in a match and reuniting it together and starting a big blaze. And you definitely don't want to do that. So now, with Jaguar and her whole situation, I definitely think that she has some underlying mental health issues and they have not been dealt with properly. I do think she's a very educated when it comes to being intellectual, being of knowledge when it comes to the music industry, or just like I said, intellectual things that you might not even know that she knew. She could have a conversation with, her boss. She could have a conversation with the neighbor about something. It's just so many different things it seems as though she can relate to. Then when she gets into that other personality, that intellectual person that we seen, that we thought we knew, that cool, calm, collective person has completely checked out. And now Jaguar is this hothead, angry person, want to fight, very aggressive. And we might not see that intellectual person for quite some time. And then that comes with that borderline personality. When she's with a certain person or a partner, then that's when she becomes that intellectual. When she's with another partner, which is her partner TJ for the time being, then that's when she becomes reckless, aggressive. She doesn't care. She does foolish things on camera. She's immature. This comes along with that not knowing who you are and those different personality traits that they haven't picked up with. That they have picked up over time with these people. And I don't know if I want to say something has happened to Jaguar to make her behave the way she is. Something has traumatized her to make her completely snap out like that. To be honest with you, if I'm going to be 110% honest with my own personal feelings, I do think that Jaguar has been through something when she went to jail. I think she was speaking out about some things that bothered several people. And once she went to jail, I don't know if she stopped taking her meds or she went through something that traumatized her along the way. Because the second Jaguar was speaking out, the minute we saw things about her coming on camera. We never saw crazy things about Jaguar on camera until she started speaking out. We see her going to jail, arguing with a police officer about her dog in the car. We see her running from hotel room to hotel room with her partner saying people are after her. Why all of a sudden now everyone has footage and everyone is so interested in seeing what Jaguar is doing or recording her and making sure it gets to YouTube? We've never heard anything about Jaguar, especially that was bad, until Jaguar started speaking out. So that leads me into thinking that something could have possibly happened to her along the way. And now, with that borderline personality, she does not know who Jaguar Wright completely is in that moment. She's one of those compartments. She compartmentalized so many of them in her mind. And they can be triggered at any moment when something traumatic happens. She goes to jail, then boom, that's that other personality coming out. And I don't know what's going to happen to Jaguar. But being in that situation is sad and it could be scary and a lonely road as well, because you cannot express yourself properly without someone understanding genuinely what's going on with you, unless probably it's a licensed therapist or a psychiatrist. And you might have people that understand you in that moment. It depends on what you're talking about and what that conversation is. But I don't think anyone has genuinely so far sat down and had a talk with Jaguar and said, hey, are you okay? What's on your mind? Are you good? Do you want to talk? How do you feel today? Everything is to get content. She's on different podcasts doing interviews, and some of them are making her look credible. Then another one is slandering her. And another one is posting her business, her life, putting her on blast. So it's all kind of different things mixed in one with her. And if you're paying attention, it's quite obvious that she has some type of mental illness or borderline personality disorder. I would hope for Jaguar's sake that she receives help, because when she's in that manic episode, you become reckless, unaware of the things you're doing and how you're truly behaving because you're in that manic mind frame. I've seen people that were manic and they have rage. And a lot of people think they're just upset. They're in the heat of the moment. They're expressing themselves. No, look it up and you will know the difference between someone expressing themselves and someone having a manic episode and going off. Now, when people like that go off on those manic episodes, if it's not treated and they have borderline personality as well, they can become dangerous. They can lure certain people to doing certain things for them because they have all these different personalities. They can become a manipulator. And we've seen that with Jaguar when it comes to her hanging out with people doing things for her going on the interview, her putting on that intellectual personality. Excuse me. And the unfortunate part for her is she thinks she's getting over. But in reality, all these people are getting what they want from her. They're getting content. People are always going to wonder what's going on with Jaguar, or what's next for her, or what is she doing, who's she with, where is she living. Jaguar has not been in a stable situation for years. Every time we've seen her, she's been over this place, that place, in jail, out of jail, hotel rooms, better yet, motel rooms. And every time she gets in these different relationships, she becomes a different person. And then that old person becomes compartmentalized and stored away inside of her brain, in her psyche. And people look at it as it's a joke. I look at it like these are the type of things that are swept under the rug. Jaguar really needs some help. Something happened to her either in her life that traumatized her, or behind the scenes that we know nothing about. But to me, her behavior now is just reckless, out of control, and unpredictable. And that's the sad part about what's going on. All these things are playing out and unfolding on YouTube in front of our eyes. So now it's like if something was to happen and take place, it's easy to write that off and say, hey, she was acting a little crazy. She was a little reckless. I saw that coming. Oh, well, I could believe that happened. Last week, she was arguing with a police officer. She was engaging in a confrontation. She was being difficult. She was arguing with her girlfriend. She was doing this. She was doing that. Now I can tell that she was on her way to something happening. It was just a matter of time. So when people are like that, it's easy to write those people off. And it seems like sometimes the people that are in those type of situations, they're not cared for as much as a normal person, so they say. A person that thinks and acts without any type of mental illness, those people get the most attention and praise. When in reality, the people with the mental illnesses, they need the most love and care. They need to be nurtured so they know no matter what, you'll be okay. You have to fight through that. And most importantly, someone needs to be there for them and not that enabler to coach them into taking their medicine daily. Because people that have mental illnesses and they don't take these medicines, they become someone completely different. And trust me, I've worked with people that have to take meds. And because they are adults, when they have a day and they come in there and they're different, they're either bipolar, they're schizophrenic, or whatever the case is, they'll come in, they'll think someone's trying to hurt them. This medicine makes them feel a certain way, and then they just don't take it. And we can't make them take it. We can't force them to. So then when they're not taking that medicine, they're very manic, over the top. They're engaging in risky behavior. They're engaging in several different altercations with different people all over the house. They're arguing with staff. They're arguing with their therapist. everyone is against them. They just want to be great. That's how they feel. These are very scary things for people with mental illnesses to go through, because they feel alone and they feel like no one out there can relate to them. If you are around someone, a loved one, or someone you care about or know, and you feel like they have a possibility of having these traits, I would suggest you, in a loving way possible, the most nurturing, caring way, to reach out to that person and have a conversation with them that's heart to heart, but not aggressively, not where they have to feel like they have to put a wall up or you're being defensive. No, you want to be gentle with this conversation, because people that have mental illnesses sometimes, they don't want to admit that because they feel like it's a weakness, or people will look at them differently, so they will rather suffer in silence and not take those meds. And we never know what their mind is telling them, because they say it's a chemical imbalance. Something is off inside the mind when those meds are not taken and it's not being treated. So I can only imagine how these people are suffering, how these different personalities are coming out and they cannot control them. It's a part of them now. So my observation with the Jaguar Wright situation, I feel totally bad, because now everything that she's put out before all this came out, from this point forward, it makes her story not credible. Do I believe most of the stuff she said? In all honesty, absolutely. But will the world believe it? Would the people that were riding with her, sticking with her, saying, leave her alone, you guys, she's not crazy, she's exposing information that no one knows and blah, blah, blah. Now those people are like, man, Jaguar has lost her mind. Now she's not credible. I can't believe I thought she was dropping some knowledge. Now I just see she's just another nut. That's the sad, unfortunate part about not treating a mental illness. People don't understand. What you said then could possibly be credible. However, what you're doing in this moment and your actions have absolutely nothing to do with that. And you have no control over this person who you are now, because you're not treating it. It's not being taken care of. Now, a borderline personality to me as well can be dangerous, like I said, because these type of people, a lot of those people that are borderline personalities with narc traits, now, I'm just crossing over a little bit, just, a couple of different mental illnesses. People that are narcs with the borderline personality, those people can cover up who they truly are. They can cover up those personalities pretty well, and you'll never know. A lot of those people are very, like I said, talented, very smart, very intellectual, seem like they're very normal, very engaging. But when you get one of those people upset with those type of disorders, you will see a side of them that you have never seen. And you will be the only one that knows that. Everybody else that knows that person, they think that they're normal. They think that they're just the sweetest person in the world. They think that they're everything. They're good. They're caring. They're smart. They're intelligent. What do you mean? And they're talented. No, this person is normal. I don't believe what you're saying. That's not true. So you always have to be careful and be aware of people with these type of traits. And I'll do something soon with, the different personality traits and what to expect from them and how to notice that. I think that's important going into, New Year's and different things going on in life, and more people are coming forward about things that's going on with them. We've seen so many people that were normal, that were online, from influencers to celebrities to rappers that are completely one way. And then out of nowhere, they transition and we see them expire. And the person everybody once gave praise to, once held at a higher bar, we saw them slowly decline, or some of them decline rapidly to the point where we don't even notice them or know who they are. And I don't know if that was due to some type of substance they were on, or one of these different personality traits that were compartmentalized, and one of them finally came forward. Because some people that have these personality traits with an addiction, or if it's not treated and you drink alcohol or you engage in any type of substance, it will make it worse. So that's why they always say do not consume alcohol with any type of substance. But sometimes, to be honest, they do say that. And it's okay depending on what it is. I'm not going to suggest that for everyone. And I'm not trying to say, go ahead and do it. You know, do as the doctors say and do what's best for you, most importantly. But all I'm saying, it depends on what type of medicine you have. It's not going to be that serious. You know, if you had some little glass of wine at night with some type of med you take or sleep or something like that, that's not a strong med, then I wouldn't see anything wrong with that. That's just an example. And sorry for my voice today. It seems as though I came down with a little cold. I hope this video was very helpful to anyone out there in regards to Jaguar Wright and a little bit about the personality traits. I wish nothing but the best for her. I will keep on reporting everything. So far, they're saying that her court date has been moved back to October. She has COVID. And allegedly, her partner, TJ, has cancer in the throat. Now, we don't know how true anything is until we see more proof of this. I hope that Jaguar goes from jail to a psychiatric ward so she could possibly get treated and tested again. And whatever she's going through is manageable. Because in life, fighting with these demons, you might as well call it that. And I hate to say the word demon, but that's how it becomes when you're these different personalities and you're manic and you're in that moment. It's not a light. It's darkness connected to all those different things. Because you're over the top, you're unpredictable, and you're out of control. So that's definitely fighting demons. But she definitely needs the proper help. And she definitely needs a strong support team around her to make sure that she's consistently taking her medicine and doing whatever it is that's necessary. So she continue getting the proper health and go forward with her life. Jaguar has been battling with this for a pretty long time, and she's in her, middle or late 40s? It's time for her to get stability, figure out what she wants, and continue to do it. Jaguar is very, very smart. If she was Jaguar Wright, and I'm talking about the original her, she could put her little Erykah Badu hat on her head. She could dress like a goddess. She could come on camera. She could drop some knowledge. And I guarantee you her page would take off. But she's not in her mind enough now to know that she's taken away from her blessings, her gift. She could possibly blow up off of that. People will tune into her every day because she's funny. She's likable. And she's struggling. She's going from house to house now. And it just hurts me because I know it's a waste of talent. And by that, I don't even mean her voice. I mean her overall aura, who she is as a being. It's not being utilized. And when you have a gift, when you have something special about you, and when you're being attacked or you're being away from what you truly are, then you go through exactly what she's going through. And I'll speak up. And a lot of you might not know. A lot of you are my old subs, and this was one of the videos you requested. I've been going through spiritual warfare. I've been going through that bad. And you have to continue. If this is anyone else out there as well, if this resonates with you, you got to continue to push forward. And just know that something in your spirit, something is not right, or it's something that you're battling that's going to push you through and guide you there. It's just sometimes your old skin, like a snake, is shedding. And all these toxic things that were part of your life, all these things that would have held you back, you're transitioning from that into your new self. And then when you're battling with your old self, because you have pride, you have your past there, you have your persona, you have your ego, all of that stuff is there. You don't want to let that go. Because once you let that go, you're scared of who this new person might become. You're scared of how you might be judged or how people will take you now, because you're not that same old you. You're a completely different you. I would tell you to keep going. I would tell you that this is your breakthrough. Believe it or not, this is your season. It will not rain and storm forever. The light will be there soon. You have to believe. You have to condition yourself. You have to put on that armor. You have to be ready to go. And don't give up on yourself. When you're going through so much, attack after attack, and I'm saying this because I know that's what Jaguar's going through right now. She's not only being attacked physically in the life around her in the spiritual realm, but she's also being attacked on camera in front of everyone, being judged. When you're being judged all the time by different spectators and people that don't truly know you in your heart and who you are, that could be the worst feeling in the world. So to me, to be honest, if you're not doing anything to anyone so bad to that point where people are continuously attacking you, then that means to me you're getting ready to have a breakthrough. As much as it hurts, as much as it's draining, as much as it's mind-boggling, something is getting ready to happen amazing for you. You just have to keep going and believe. And you just have to know in your heart there's something out there that you're quite either not resonating with yet to get into your greater self, or you're holding onto that old self still. So it's causing all this negative energy, all these toxic things around you to continue to attach yourself to you. That's why it's so important to fast. It's so important to take care of your mental health. It's so important to spend some you time alone. Get to know yourself all over again. Step into your higher self. Step into your greater purpose. But in order to do that, you have to let go of that old you. And you have to invite that new you. And you have to be willing to put in the work. Nothing is easy in life. Nothing is handed to you. Everything in life, something that's worth having, is worth working for. I am Ashley D. I hope this video helped and resonated with someone out there. Please feel free to share it. I will be speaking with each and every one of you soon. I'm sorry about my voice. Take care. Bye. Oh yeah, by the way, please leave your opinion down below what you think. I would love to hear it. Okay. Bye for now, everyone.